Greg Ehrenberg from OddsJam here to bring you the best prop picks for Saturday night's UFC card. The main event taking place in Paris between Ciryl Gane and Tuivasa. Should be a really fun main event. I'm looking forward to it. And we're breaking down some of these props over on PrizePicks. So do me a favor, like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. But also, if you're signing up at PrizePicks for the first time, make sure to use the promo code AWESEMO because you're going to get up to a $100 bonus on your first deposit. So that seems like a no-brainer, right? If you're new to PrizePicks, you got two options. You're either signing up and getting no free money, or you're signing up and using our promo code and getting up to $100 for free added to your account. So make sure to sign up using that promo code AWESEMO. But let's get into it now. These are the best PrizePicks plays for Saturday's UFC card. First prop I'm looking at is over 63.5 significant strikes for Nasrat Haqparast, and I think his fight between him and John Makdessi should be really competitive, and it is almost certainly going to take place on the feet by looking at some of the wrestling numbers between these two. So, John Makdessi, 37 years old. He's been in the UFC for a very, very long time. John Makdessi's first ever UFC fight was December 11th, 2010. So, a dozen years in the organization. Over the course of that time, he has landed 0 takedowns. Never landed a takedown, John Makdessi, but his takedown defense, 89%. So, doesn't attempt takedowns, but hardly ever gets taken down. His fights take place on the feet. And then as for Nasrat Haqparast, kind of a similar story. He only lands 0.13 takedowns per 15 minutes. So one takedown landed in the entire course of his UFC career. And then his takedown defense sits at 78%. So right off the bat, we know probably going to be a striking exchange. It's a fight that also, according to the odds, it's expected to go to the judges' scorecards. And both these fighters land strikes at a fairly high rate. John Makdessi, 5.57 significant strikes landed per minute. Haqparast, 5.17 significant strikes landed per minute. So we take all of that into account, and it's a fight that's going to take place on the feet between two strikers. I don't think it's going to be stopped inside the distance. Both these guys are pretty durable. And then we also have the fact that they land at pretty high rates. So I think the significant strike mark here is much too low. I think it should be somewhere around 80 or so for Haqparast. He's the slight favorite in this fight, actually getting to be a pretty big favorite. I think the line, you could argue, is a little bit too wide, and I do think that is the case. But at least for this purpose, it doesn't even matter who wins the fight. We just need this fight to go to the judges' scorecards, take place on the feet, and we probably are getting an over on the significant strikes prop. So first prop I'm looking at, over 63.5 significant strikes for Nasrat Haqparast. For my next prop, I'm looking at the co-main event between Robert Whittaker and Marvin Vettori, a fight that, another one I'm really looking forward to for this card. And I think that stylistically, this really favors Robert Whittaker. We have seen him fight over the course of his UFC career a lot of wrestle-heavy fighters, and this is generally the kind of matchup Whittaker has success in because he's a really good sprawl and brawl type fighter. And what I mean by that is he defends takedowns exceptionally well. Robert Whittaker, he has 83% takedown defense for his UFC career, and he's fought some really high-level wrestlers and grapplers. Yoel Romero twice, Jacare Souza, and that was a prime Jacare Souza, Derek Brunson. So really highly ranked fighters, just like Marvin Vettori is, that are able to wrestle effectively. And what we generally see Whittaker do in these matchups is stuff the takedowns. The fight takes place on the feet, and he's just a better striker than most of these guys. And I do think that he has a pretty significant striking advantage over Marvin Vettori. So that's how I see this fight playing out. I see Whittaker stuffing the takedowns, and then him and Vettori largely trading on the feet, where both of them land, a fairly decent clip. 4.45 significant strikes landed per minute for Whittaker, 4.35 for Vettori, and another fight that is expected to go to the judges' scorecards. So with that in mind, the fight over -200 odds to end up going to decision, I think it's going to take place on the feet because Whittaker's takedown defense is so good. I don't think we're going to see Whittaker look to wrestle offensively against Marvin Vettori. And his significant strike mark also, just like the Nasrat Haqparast line, is 63.5. So some of the recent fights that we have seen from Robert Whittaker, he landed only 59 significant strikes against Adesanya, but that's also against Adesanya. Against Kelvin Gastelum, he landed 150. Against Jared Cannonier, that was a 3-round decision. He landed 69 significant strikes. So we have seen him more often than not in fights that go to the judges' scorecards, be it 70 plus significant strikes. The line on this one is 63.5. So next prop of the day, over 63.5 significant strikes for Robert Whittaker. We should feel good about this one as long as it goes to the judges' scorecards. And for my final prop, I'm looking at the main event between Ciryl Gane and Tai Tuivasa. We have gone over under 60.5 significant strikes. Another one, I'm leaning towards the over. So Three strike props that are given out here and all fairly similar numbers. I like the over on all of them. So when it comes to Gane over 60.5 significant strikes, one thing that I think we have to look at is all of his recent fights. He went 63 significant strikes against Francis Ngannou, and that was a fight where he was just taken down constantly over the last 3 rounds. He landed 98 significant strikes against Derek Lewis, so well over, and that was also a fight that he ended up winning by finish in the 3rd round. He landed 115 significant strikes against Alexander Volkov, 102 against Jairzinho Rozenstruik, 59 against Junior Dos Santos, so that was one where he would have hit the under, but that was also a 2nd round finish. 65 against Tanner Boser, 94 against Dontel Mays, and then 15 against Rafael Pasosa, although that was a fight that he won by submission in the 1st round. So 9 UFC fights, and he has had 63 or more significant strikes in 7 of them, and it's hard to not love this matchup for Ciryl Gane. I don't think that Tai Tuivasa really has much of anything for him, which, I mean, goes to show also because Ciryl Gane, the largest favorite on the card, closing in on minus 600, depending where you look. So it does seem very likely that Ciryl Gane is safe to win. The only real path to victory for Tai Tuivasa would be a quick knockout, and I don't even know how he's going to be able to close the distance against Gane. Gane has all the weapons to keep this fight at a distance. I think his leg kicks, his ability to push kick up the middle is going to keep the distance between him and Tai Tuivasa, and I think he just picks him apart at distance. Maybe finishes him inside the distance, but I mean, the most likely outcome here is I do think that we probably see this fight get extended because that's what Ciryl Gane's done in a lot of these fights. Some of the ones I mentioned before, he had significant advantages over guys like Volkov, Jairzinho Rozenstruik, and he was content to not really look for the finish and just outpoint people at distance on the feet. And that's probably what I think happens here with Tai Tuivasa. And then the other thing too with Tuivasa, I think he will try to take some chances and close the distance and come inside. And that's just going to lead to Ciryl Gane racking up significant strike marks. So once again, I think this is a prop that's just set too low, 60.5 significant strikes for Ciryl Gane. Give me the over on this one. So to recap, the 3 props that I like over on PrizePicks for this weekend's UFC card: Nasrat Haqparast over 63.5 significant strikes, Robert Whittaker over 63.5 significant strikes, then finally Ciryl Gane in the main event against Tai Tuivasa. I've got Gane for over 60.5 significant strikes. Now there's a couple of different ways to play these over at PrizePicks, but before you do, just make sure to sign up using our promo code AWESOMO because it's going to get you to a $100 bonus on your first deposit. We've got something called the Flex Play, where if 2 out of 3 of these props hit correctly, you're going to get 1.25x your money, but still get 2.25x if all 3 hit. But if you love these props as much as I do and you think all 3 of them are going to hit, you want to click on the power play. You go 3 out of 3, and you're going to get back 5x your entry fee. So that does it for me for this week. I hope you guys enjoy the card. Good luck, and I hope to see you back here again next week. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel before you leave.